Hello everyone, we are Group 2 from Section 4 FSMA, and our research is focused on physical activity and the psychological well-being among academic staff of the University of Santo Tomas. Our group consists of 6 members, namely Angelo Abella, Louie Becasio, Kelvin Chan, Ian Herrera, Miguel Nicolas, and Jesse Tan. First off, we have Ian who would discuss the background of the study.
Physical activity is one of the most important tasks a person can engage in. It can lower their chances of getting fatal diseases. High psychological well being can be beneficial. Academic staff face physical and mental stress throughout the whole day. It can provide new information on the correlation between physical activity and psychological well being among academic staff of the University of Santo Tomas.
The theoretical framework. The researchers use the self-determination theory. It argues that a normal human being possesses three basic psychological needs, namely competence, autonomy, and relatedness. According to a study, the immense desire to accomplish these basic needs can serve as the impetus for a human being to engage in physical activity and as well as promote their own psychological well-being. The theory is considered as an approach to human motivation and personality that uses traditional methods that specifically highlights the importance of a human being's evolved inner resources in their respective personality development.
For the conceptual framework, the input box consists of the information required in the study. This includes the benefits of physical activity to psychological well-being, the current state of psychological well-being, the effects of physical and mental health deterioration to the overall performance of academic staff in the University of Santo Tomas. The process box contains the method on how the researchers gathered the necessary data for the study, such as online questionnaires that were prepared and distributed by the researchers to the selected academic units of the university. As for the output, the study has given valuable insights on the effects of physical activity to the level of psychological well-being in terms of self-esteem and stress level involving the academic staff of the University of Santo Tomas.
As for the research design, the researchers utilized a quantitative descriptive correlational research design in the study to fully understand the relationship between physical activity and the psychological well-being among the academic staff of University of Santo Tomas. While quantitative research focuses on generating new knowledge and creating an understanding about the social world, the researchers like to be more in-depth and used a descriptive correlational quantitative research in the study. Descriptive correlational quantitative research aims to describe the variables and the relationship that occurs between them.
For the description of respondents, the researchers gathered a total of 108 academic staff from the University of Santo Tomas.
For the instruments used, the researchers used the Global Physical Activity Questionnaire, Rosenberg Self-Esteem Scale, and the University Stress Scale. The Global Physical Activity Questionnaire, or GPAC, contains 16 questions that are designed to determine or estimate the level of physical activity by an individual in three domains, namely work, transport, and leisure time. The Rosenberg Self-Esteem Scale was used to showcase the participants' overview of their self-acceptance and worth. It contains a 10-item self-report measure of global self-esteem and answered on a 4-point scale, which ranges from strongly disagree to strongly agree. The University Stress Scale was used to present the stress experience by the participants, as well as the overall intensity of stress experience.
As for the sampling technique used, the researchers used a purposive sampling technique in selecting the participants eligible for the study.
For our data presentation and analysis, to answer question 1, Table 1 contains information on physical activity participation in three domains, which are activity at work, travel or transportation, and recreational activities, wherein the time spent per day for each activity was determined. The table shows that from 108 respondents, the total minutes spent for physical activity in a week totaled to 1,440 minutes, with a mean of 163.66 and a standard deviation of 236.62. Based on the Global Physical Activity Questionnaire, or GPAC, the recommended number of minutes spent for physical activity is 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity. The results as seen in Table 1 shows that the average minutes per week of physical activity is 163.66, which is higher than the normal minutes recommended by the World Health Organization. Therefore, respondents in the study were considered physically active.
For the second research question in Table 2, it shows the psychological well-being through self-esteem. The total number of respondents is 108, with the lowest score obtained is 11 and the highest being 30. The average self-esteem score of respondents is 22, with a standard deviation of 4.83. The scores which range between 15 and 25 are within normal range, while scores below 15 suggest a problematic low self-esteem. The study conducted yielded an average of score of 22, which means that the self-esteem of the academic staff are within normal range. In the table shown, it answers the research question, what is the relationship between physical activity and psychological well-being through self-esteem? Using the Pearson correlation and Sigmund two-tailed, wherein the significant level is at 0.05, it is found out that the minutes of physical activities of the respondents correlated with the respondent's self-esteem score has a resultant p-value of 0.73, and the resultant value of R is equal to 0.03. Although there is a positive correlation obtained with the value of R is equal to 0.03, it is not significant since the obtained p-value is 0.73, which is greater than the alpha level A equals 0.05. Therefore, it can be concluded that there is no significant relationship between the level of physical activity and self-esteem. In the last table, it answers the research question, what is the relationship between physical activity and psychological well-being through stress? Also using the Pearson correlation of Sigmund two-tailed, wherein the significant level is at 0.05, finding the minutes of physical activity correlated with the stress score in the study conducted resulted in p-value of 0.56. The resulting value of R is equal to 0.06. From the correlation obtained, R is equal to 0.06 and p-value of 0.56, which is greater than the alpha level of 0.05, it can be concluded that there is no significant relationship between level of physical activity and stress.
For the conclusion, the majority of the respondents are performing a high number of physical activity than the average recommended minutes, which means they are physically active. Next, the majority of the respondents show that their self-esteem is within their normal age. And last, there is a psychological distress since the average number of respondents are experiencing high stress levels and they are experiencing discomfort. For the recommendations, the academic staff should continuously check and monitor their physical activity and their psychological well-being. They should also assess the importance of having a healthy one's well-being, including the physical, psychological, and the emotional well-being. Next, the institution may use the results of the study to identify the stressors that 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 affects the productivity of the workers. Next, the institution should address and place adequate focus on the personal management to preserve its highly respected reputation.
It can be also used as a reference for investigation on the relationship between physical exercise and psychological well-being. Results should contribute to sports psychology and physical education. It can help spread awareness in terms of the physical and mental well-being. Programs promoting physical activities and the mental well-being of the academic staff may be implemented. It can be used as a guide or evidence for future research about physical activity and mental well-being of the academic staff.
Thank you.